Here I'm going to show you how to have a user confirm their input before it is submitted. So let's say we have an input box right here, and the user is going to input something, who knows, maybe a part value. And then they're going to hit OK, and you're going to ask them, is this the correct input? And then show them what they input. If they hit yes, it'll go into the cell over here. If they hit no, it will not. So let's hit yes, and there we go. Now let's go to the VBA window and make this happen. Alt F11. And here I've got lots of comments that explain exactly what's going to happen, and there is not a single naked line of code anywhere. So everything is very thoroughly explained, and this is derived from a larger tutorial for my VBA course on teachexcel.com, and I've got a link to it right here if you are interested in that. I'll talk more about that at the end of the tutorial though. For now, let's talk about how to make this work. It's a really cool little thing. I really like it. So right here is the process for what we're going to do. We're going to ask the user for their input, show them the input, and then ask them to confirm it, and then based on that decision, do something. It's really not that difficult. So let's go down here and delete the code, and we shall make it from scratch. Now, of course, you can just download this file and play around with it if you want. You don't have to do it from scratch like I'm going to, but let's build it out and talk about it. First up is to declare some variables. So at this point in my VBA course, I'm formalizing a lot of stuff. So this will be a bit more formal than it has to, but that makes it a more robust macro. So first up, we want some user input, and that's what the user is going to type in. And we're going to store it as a string because we're going to be using the basic input box for that just to get some text from the user. Next up, I want to make the confirmation message separately so it's a little bit easier to read and follow in the code. So that thing that says, hey, this is what you input, do you want to confirm it or not? And we're going to store that message inside of this variable. It'll make the code a lot cleaner, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So this shall also be a string because we're going to put it in a message box. And lastly, we need something to capture the button click from the message box where the user is going to confirm their input. So we shall have input confirmation as, and here we use a really cool variable type that's specific for the message box. VB message box result. Now, it's not anything too funky or weird or crazy or special. It just makes it easier for us to figure out which button was clicked. And you will see what I mean when we get to that part of the macro. So let us go down to the next part. And the first thing that we want to do in the macro is to ask the user to give some input. So let us make our user input variable. And I did Control space to help me fill that in, by the way. The best keyboard shortcut for a macro. And now let's make an input box. We're going to use the input box function because we're going to keep things simple here. And I'm going to use a line continuation character there and make it so it's a little bit easier to read our code. Let's use named arguments here as well. And I am breezing through this a little bit just so this tutorial isn't too terribly long. When I do this in the VBA course itself, I will have already taught you about every single feature that I'm using in this macro. But it's also heavily commented in the downloadable file so that if it's ever too fast in the video tutorial, you always have a backup to go back to. So, user input, input box. Now we have a little input box. It's going to say input ID, and title will be ID input. And now that we're going to get some input, let's make sure the user actually gave us something. So we're going to use if len user input is greater than 0, and as I have previously explained in another tutorial, this just counts how many characters are in this variable. So how many characters the user submitted through this input box. And if it's greater than 0, that means they gave us something. Now let's finish up the if statement. So if we are here, user input something. And if we are here, nothing input or canceled. Since we are using the very basic input box, there is no well-documented way or proper way to get the cancel button click, and I'm not going to worry about that right now. So if you watched my other tutorial on that, I don't feel like using str ptr in this example. In the full VBA course, we use the application input box, and I'll talk more about what I do with that at the end of this tutorial. But here, like I said, we're going to keep things a little bit simple. And let's just say nothing input. All right. So this is where all the magic's going to happen. The user has input something, so it's time to ask them if they really want to input that or not. First up, we're going to build the confirmation message. Confirmation, control space to fill it in, equals, is this the correct input question mark? And let's use this awesome thing, VB new line. It's like hitting enter. So it's going to space out the message box text. And we're going to do 2 of them. VB new line, VB new line. One more ampersand, line continuation character. And let's line these guys up. User input. Perfect. So now we are building the message for our message box that will say, is this the correct input? Enter, enter, and then show them what they input. Now let us go back here and let's build a message box. Now when you're building a message box, to get a button click, you must use a variable to capture the button click so that you can check for it right afterwards. So that's why we have input confirmation. So we use input confirmation, control space, equals, and here we have all the buttons that can be clicked. But don't worry, we're not going to use that or check for that right now. We're still building the message box. But this popped up, by the way, because this variable is the VB message box result type. And that's why it's so cool. And it's really helpful with the if statement that we're going to put right after this. But let's go back to building the message box. So input confirmation equals message box. Let's do a little line continuation, enter. And there we go. Let's go with some named arguments. Prompt. Now for the prompt, this is what we show the user. And we've already built it up here, so we don't have to muddy our message box function with all of this. We just type confirmation message, comma, space, underscore, enter. Now let's do the title. And how about please confirm, comma, space, underscore, enter. And buttons. And I have a massive tutorial for the message box in the full VBA course where I explain all of this in detail. I do not speed through it. But here I'm trying to make a more succinct tutorial. So let us now go with the buttons argument. This controls the buttons that show up in the message box, but also that little blue exclamation point that you saw there, which also causes a noise to be made with that little message box. You can control which button is the default button. You can control a lot of things with that little message box, and this is the argument that you use to do it. So what we want to do is very simple, VB yes, no for the buttons, and for our second part of this argument, we just do a plus sign, and now we can control all these other options. So let's go with VB information. Now there's a lot more to it than I am saying right here, and there's so many cool things that you can do right here. And my massive message box tutorial for the full VBA course covers all of that. So let's close up the parentheses now. And one thing I do want to note here is you may notice that a lot of times when I or someone else uses a message box, they don't have the parentheses like this. They just have text right after it. But if you are going to store the output, use the output of this function and put it inside of a variable, you must put parentheses around the arguments like this. And that's why they are there. And if you forget them, Excel will happily remind you. Compile error expected end of statement. Now it doesn't tell you what you did wrong necessarily, so it's not terrifically helpful, but I can tell you it's the parentheses. And now that we have a message box, the user can click a button in it, and the button that was clicked will return a value that will be stored in this guy right here. So we just check him in an if statement, and that's pretty much all there is to it. We're almost done after that. So if input confirmation and now equals, and these are all the buttons they can click, and it's very self-explanatory. I chose the option VB yes no. That means that the only buttons that are going to appear are the yes button and the no button. You're not even going to be able to cancel it or close it using the red X or escape. They have to click yes or no. Now, can you tell over here which button is yes and which button is no? Of course you can. VB yes, VB no. And this only appears because this variable, input confirmation, see input confirmation right there, same variable, because it is set as the VB message box result type. And that's why you want to set it as that. So what do we want to do? We want VB yes. So if input confirmation is VB yes, then the user has confirmed the input and we can do what we want, but let's first finish building our if statement. So input confirmed, input not confirmed. Now here the user likes their input, they want to accept it and submit it and do whatever you want to do here. You could do a lot of things. You could even send it in an email, do all sorts of really cool things. But all we're going to do here for now is to put it into range A2. So range A2 dot value equals user input. Input not confirmed. In this case, I don't want to do anything, but there are a lot of things that you could do, such as to show the user another input box and say, okay, if you don't want to confirm that input, can you give me some more input? You can do that in a loop so that the user has to input something. You could lock the worksheets, you could close the workbook, you could do a million different things here if it is not confirmed. And the VBA course shows you a bunch of different things that you can do that are really cool, especially the infinite loop that requires the user to input something before they can continue. But for this tutorial, I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to input it into the worksheet, so I'm good to go. And now we have a fully working macro that requires the user to confirm their input. Or do we? Always, always, always run your macro and test it to make sure everything works. So let's go to the worksheet. Let us clear this guy. And let us hit Alt F8 and run our macro user input confirmation. Let's go with a simple red this time. OK. Is this the correct input? And if you run this macro with this little guy right here, this little VB information blue thing, it will make a noise, okay? So just know that in case you drive your coworkers crazy with it. So is this the correct input? And now notice we have two spaces. Two VB new lines caused two spaces. And that makes it so it's easier to read in this message box. Another great formatting thing you can use also is called VB tab. I'm not going to cover it here, but it's a really cool thing for formatting in the message box. So is this the correct input? Yes, it is. Input value red. All right. Now let's delete it and try another one. Blue. Is this the correct input? Nope. Nothing input. And if I do put a value here, I just deleted it so we could start fresh. But if I do put a value there and no, you'll see nothing happens. But if you have your input confirmation, maybe you do want to clear the value if they say no, it's not confirmed. Like I said, there are a million different things that you can do. But now let's test the cancel. So run, let us hit cancel, nothing input. Since we're using the regular input box function, that will return the same as if we just hit OK right now and submit nothing. Nothing input. So if you really want to capture the cancel button click, I suggest using application input box. It's much, much, much better for that. All right, so let's go back to the VBA window and I'll leave you off here. Now I mentioned I have a VBA course on teachexcel.com and this tutorial is based off of one of the tutorials that I have there. This is actually the simpler version of that tutorial, believe it or not. In that one I show you how to have the user confirm their input when they change the value in a cell. So if they just go right here and change the value like this and hit enter, then the message would say, hey, do you want to confirm the input, yes or no? And if they say no, then it would revert this back to the value that was there before. And if they say yes, it'll save the new value. So it's a really, really cool way to do this. There are many ways to do everything with macros and VBA, and that's one of my favorite tutorials from the VBA course. And here I just have some other things that you could do, including what I just mentioned, the auto-confirm input into cells in the worksheet, And you could also do a default value display and checking system. Basically, I just show you a really simple way to show the default value but not allow the user to submit it. Or showing the input window repeatedly until they input something, which I mentioned a moment ago with having the input box inside of a loop, an infinite loop. So there's lots of things that you can do. And if you're interested in learning more, just follow this link right here and check out the course. This link will also be in the description for this video.